Okay, let's unpack this. When you think of Norwegians, what image really pops into your head?
Mm.
For so many people, it's almost mythical, right? These like tall figures, pale skin, those really piercing eyes, and the classic golden hair.
Yeah, that's a stereotype for sure.
It is, and it's a captivating one. It's intrigued the world for centuries,
Right.
really shaping how people see them, way beyond Scandinavia.
Well, definitely.
But tonight, we're doing a deep dive. We've got a stack of articles, some cutting-edge research, historical notes.
Good stuff.
Yeah, all to explore what really makes Norway's people look so distinct. We want to go beyond the surface level.
Right.
Uncover the story that's been shaped by, well, everything. Glaciers, fjords, Vikings, obviously, trade, even modern global connections.
It's a complex picture.
It is. So get ready for a shortcut to being well-informed, hopefully with some surprising facts and insights that might just shift how you see that part of the world.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is that the Norwegian look isn't just about simple genetics.
Yeah.
Not at all. It's more like a living portrait of the North, sculpted over thousands of years.
Sculpted how?
Well, think about it. Their features are honed by this unique interplay between isolation, look at that landscape, and extensive migration outwards.
Ah, the Vikings.
Exactly. So their population really embodies this blend of historical journeys and deep environmental adaptations. It makes them a really interesting case study in, human evolution.
Okay, let's dive into specifics. Eyes. For anyone who knows anything about Norway, or has even seen pictures, the eyes often stand out.
They really do.
Our sources point to this pretty astonishing statistic. Something like 75 to 80% of Norwegians have blue or light-colored eyes.
That's correct.
That's one of the highest proportions anywhere. You compare that to, 27% in the U.S.? Or 40% in Germany. It's a massive difference.
Huge difference, yeah.
So the question is that consistent across the whole country, or does Norway, with all its, nooks and crannies, show regional variations?
That's a great question, and that's exactly where it gets a bit more nuanced. While that high percentage is generally true, if you go up north into Norway's northern regions, you actually find green and gray eyes appearing more often.
Oh, interesting. How much more often?
Roughly 15 to 20% of the population up there. And genetic studies back in 2014 actually traced these variations.
To what?
To ancient mixing with Celtic groups.
Yeah.
Especially along the western coast. That influence is quite strong there.
Wow. So you can actually see that history.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite striking. You could walk through Bergen's Harbor today, the old Hanseatic Wharf area, and you'll see it. One family might have those classic sapphire blue eyes, and then maybe sitting nearby, another family has soft green eyes.
Yeah.
And both are completely, authentically Norwegian.
That's a vivid picture, a living testament to their layered history, as you say. All right, so from eyes, let's pivot to skin tone. Our sources say around 95% of Norwegians have very light to fair skin. Now, when I think Norway, I immediately picture those long, dark winters. Is that connection, that visual link, as direct as it seems, or is there more to it?
No, you're absolutely spot on making that connection. The science is pretty compelling.
How so?
That fair skin, it's not just, how they look. It's a crucial genetic adaptation. A brilliant one, actually.
Adaptation for what?
It fundamentally helps them absorb precious vitamin D in low sunlight conditions, which is an absolute necessity during those long, dark winters.
Oh, okay, so it's functional.
Highly functional.
Huh.
A big pigmentation study in 2017 confirmed it. Norwegians cluster among the lightest skinned populations in Europe, right up there with Swedes and Finns.
So it's not just looking Nordic, it's like an evolutionary toolkit.
Exactly. A silent testament to millennia of surviving in those northern climes.
Right, a survival mechanism coded right in. But thinking about Norway's history again, on all that seafaring trade, did that genetic isolation always hold? Did other complexions start to layer in?
And this is where, we see a real twist. While that overall fairness is genetically dominant, you definitely get regional variations, and especially now, modern dynamics. Well, in cities like Oslo, for instance. Immigration has brought a wider spectrum of warmer skin tones.
Creating a contrast.
A visible and fascinating contrast,
Yeah.
between, say, more homogeneous rural villages and these bustling cosmopolitan centers.
And how do Norwegians themselves view this?
Well, our sources show differing viewpoints. Some argue it's just a natural continuation of their history, trade, interaction, ongoing evolution.
Right.
Others see it more as a challenge to what they consider the traditional Norwegian look. And that fuels some real identity debates in modern Norway.
So appearance tied deeply to national identity, a live debate.
Very much so.
Okay, moving on. Height. Just as their eyes tell a story, their stature literally lets them stand tall.
They are notably tall, yes.
A 2019 health survey puts the average height for men at 180 centimeters, that's about 5'11", and women at 167 centimeters, 5'6". That puts them among the tallest in Europe, just a bit shorter than the Dutch. That's significant. What's driving that?
Well, their height is a classic example of nature and nurture working together powerfully.
So genes and
nutrition, definitely. While, yes, Viking ancestry probably carried naturally tall genes, there's a strong case that modern diets have played a huge role in reinforcing that growth, maybe even more so.
What kind of diets?
Exceptionally rich in fish, dairy, and meat. Think about it. Historically, coastal communities ate vast amounts of fatty fish. Salmon, cod.
Packed with good stuff.
Exactly. Powerhouses of omega-3s and vitamin D, both absolutely crucial for strong bone development and, well, getting taller.
So it's environment and diet shaping genetic expression over centuries.
You got it. Effectively building taller generations.
Now let's tackle that really pervasive image, almost a caricature, the idea that all Norwegians are blonde.
Ah, yes, the blonde stereotype.
It's such a cliche, isn't it? We've all heard it. But how accurate is that, really? Is the reality more varied?
It's definitely more nuanced, which is, a good reminder about stereotypes in general.
So what are the numbers?
Well, data does show about 65% are naturally blonde, so it's dominant.
But not universal.
Far from it. A significant 30% have light to medium brown hair, and only about 5% carry darker shades.
Okay, so brown hair is quite common, too.
Very common.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is the red hair, about 2 to 3% of the population.
And that links back to...
Often linked back to that Celtic influence we talked about, especially in Western Norway, connecting them to Ireland, Scotland.
Right. And texture, mostly straight.
Predominantly straight or wavy, yeah.
Yeah.
About 70% fall into those categories. Curier textures are rarer, but they're there.
And regional differences here, too.
Oh, for sure. Lighter blonde shades might dominate in coastal towns, say, like Stavanger. But head into the inland valleys, and you'll see a richer mix. Chestnut browns mixed in generously.
And that's from?
Centuries of internal migration, but also external trade. Remember, Norse explorers didn't just bring back goods. Sometimes they brought back spouses from abroad.
Subtly diversifying the gene pool over time.
Exactly, like a literal thread woven through their history.
Okay, let's talk facial features. Anthropologists used to use terms like high cheekbones, straight noses, angular jawlines, grouping it all under the Nordic type.
That term was common.
But does that term really hold up today? Does it capture the full picture, or is it, an oversimplification?
Yeah, scientists today pretty much agree it oversimplifies things. It can kind of erase some really fascinating regional diversity.
How so? What did the studies find?
Well, genetic studies from 2017 found clear, measurable regional differences within Norway itself.
Like what?
Like, Western Norwegians often show slightly rounder faces, maybe more freckles. That's attributed to stronger contact with Celtic and British Isles populations, during the Viking Age, raids, settlements.
Okay, and Eastern Norwegians?
They tend towards longer, narrower features, probably due to closer genetic ties with Swedish and Finnish gene pools over time. So this raises a fun question, doesn't it? When Norwegians claim they can spot the difference between someone from Bergen and someone from Oslo.
Is it science or just local pride? Or imagination?
Well, the evidence suggests there is actually a historical and genetic basis for these subtle regional distinctions.
Well, so perception can have a basis in ancestral reality.
Often does, yeah. Even if individual interpretation varies. It's like a subtle map etched onto their features.
It's fascinating how these individual pieces, eyes, skin, height, hair, face, start to paint this bigger picture. So what does it all boil down to genetically? What's the DNA story?
Yeah, those 2017 studies really pull it together beautifully. They show this compelling story of deep roots and surprising mixes.
Go on.
Okay, so Norwegians share about 70–75% of their DNA with ancient Germanic tribes, your classic Norse ancestors.
Right.
But, and this is crucial, there's also a significant chunk, 15–20%, from Celtic ancestry.
From that Western influence.
Exactly. And smaller, but still vital, traces from the Sami, the indigenous people of the North, a completely different genetic lineage. So what's really unique is this kind of genetic duality, almost a contradiction.
Duality, huh?
Well, on one hand, you have Norway's landscape, the fjords, the mountains, They acted like natural genetic fortresses, right?
Yeah.
Limiting large-scale migration for centuries.
Creating distinct clusters.
Exactly. Preserving traits, like a genetic vault. But on the other hand, these same people were incredible seafarers.
The Vikings again?
Mm-hmm. Their expeditions brought back wealth, but also genetic diversity, subtly enriching the gene pool.
So, isolation at home, mixing abroad.
That's the duality.
Yeah.
And it's precisely why Norwegians today can look so consistently light-featured, yet still carry these subtle, fascinating differences in hair, face, complexion. It's an amazing balance.
This whole journey through appearance and genetics, it really brings us to a contemporary and sometimes pretty heated debate, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
What is the typical Norwegian look today? It feels like a question that can really spark discussion.
You're absolutely right, it can. Our sources show basically two main sides to this. Both argued passionately.
Okay, what's side one?
Side one insists the true Norwegian fits that classic stereotype we started with. Tall, blonde, blue-eyed. For them, that's the established image, representing a kind of pure lineage.
And the other side?
Argues that diversity from red hair to, say, olive undertones is equally authentic. That it's all been shaped by thousands of years of history and interaction. They see the Norwegian look as more of a tapestry.
A tapestry, not a single thread.
Nicely put. And then recent immigration adds another complex layer.
Right, especially in cities.
Exactly. Oslo is now one of Europe's most multicultural cities. Nearly a third of residents have an immigrant background.
And reactions to that? Still divided.
Pretty much. Some celebrate it as proof that Norwegian identity is alive, evolving, a natural thing in a globalized world.
While others
express genuine concern. They worry it might dilute what they see as the traditional look, maybe losing a specific cultural marker.
And this tension plays out.
Visibly. In media, politics, online forums, it's a real active societal conversation about identity and appearance happening right now.
To really bring this diversity to life, let's paint a picture. Imagine walking through a summer festival in, say, Trondheim.
Okay.
You'd see those tall men, platinum blonde hair, seal blue eyes, right? The classic image.
Right.
But right next to them, maybe a woman with auburn curls, freckles, her look tracing back to those Celtic ancestors on the coast. And then kids running around with chestnut brown hair, maybe soft green eyes, living proof that the gene pool is way richer than any single stereotype.
A diverse tableau, absolutely.
Or switch scenes. Picture a winter evening way up north. Tromsø, under the northern lights.
Magical.
You might see Sami families with their distinct features, often darker hair, gathering with neighbors of Norse descent. The contrast is striking, poetic even.
Yeah.
But together, they embody the complete intertwined story of Norway. A powerful visual.
It really is. And if we connect those visuals to the bigger picture, it ties into this deep emotional thread for Norwegians.
Which is?
One of both immense pride and nuanced complexity.
Pride.
Pride in the Viking roots, the iconic features, sure, that tall frame, light features, but also a growing complexity in acknowledging that their look isn't just Nordic.
It's a blend.
A rich, dynamic blend. Celts, Sami, others who cross paths with the Norse throughout history. And this duality, it really shapes modern identity. Norway celebrates its heritage, absolutely. But it's also increasingly embracing the idea that looking Norwegian doesn't mean fitting just one mold. This emotional journey from maybe a rigid stereotype towards a more inclusive acceptance, it mirrors the nation's own evolution, from isolated fjords to a global stage.
A narrative of identity in motion.
Exactly. Powerful stuff.
So to wrap it all up, our deep dive shows Norwegians are both ancient and incredibly adaptive. Their eyes, mostly blue, reflect that northern light, but carry whispers of Celtic green and gray.
Yeah.
Their fair skin, a brilliant survival tool for long winters. Their height, fueled by genes and fish-rich diets.
A powerful combo.
Their faces tell layered stories of Vikings and Celts. And their modern diversity speaks volumes about an identity that's evolving, not fixed.
Well summarized.
So what does this mean for you, the listener? Maybe it invites you to think about how much of what we assume about national identity is actually this deep tapestry of adaptation and connection right down to our genes.
That's a great takeaway. And scientists really do say Norwegians embody this balance, continuity and change.
Rooted but evolving.
Exactly. Rooted in ancient Germanic ancestry, shaped by Celtic encounters, Sami presence, and now evolving with global connections.
And that's why.
That's why what a Norwegian looks like is still so fascinating, and why it still stirs curiosity and sometimes, controversy.
So a final thought for everyone listening.
Next time you meet a Norwegian, Maybe in Oslo, maybe Bergen, maybe somewhere else entirely. Take a closer look. Notice the tall frame, sure, the bright eyes. But also look for those subtle variations in hair, skin, features. They all speak of history.
History and adaptation.
Precisely. And maybe that's the real answer here. Norwegians don't look so distinct in spite of their history. They look so distinct because of it.